Imagine that you understand what are the serious problems of our life, what are the fundamental issues in our life, and imagine that you get the answer of those. How would you feel? If that is the case, this video is for you. Today I am going to talk about the four dimensions of humans, individuals, the four dimensions of our life. If we understand those four dimensions, if we study about those four dimensions, and if we fix them, we can become a version 2.0 of ourselves. We can become an extraordinary person in our life. We can become an improved person. So the four dimension of our life is, the number one thing is our physical quotient, PQ. Now, I'm sure you all know that if we are not physically fit, we cannot do anything properly in our life. We cannot have proper studies, we cannot enjoy our relationship, we cannot do anything properly because we will not be in a confident state of being. So now, what are those things which we need to fix to be physically fit? Now, the number one thing is your eating habits. Take an example of motorbike. If you put a kerosene oil in the place of petrol, do you think the bike could run? The engine will fail, obviously. Similarly, you need to be mindful and choosy of what to eat and what not to eat. The second thing is the exercise. You need to have ample amount of exercise, because when you exercise, your fear hormone, which is cortisol, it goes down, and your dopamine, which is a motivational hormone, it goes up, and you feel energized, you feel confident, and in order to be physically fit, exercise is one of the most important elements. Third thing is having proper sleep. Most of the people neglect this fact that if they sleep less and work hard, they will be successful. But try to understand this, ladies and gentlemen, that having a proper sleep and sleeping properly makes you more energized, makes you more confident. It helps you to build momentum of the day. And the last thing is spending some leisure time with your friends and family. And imagine that you're talking to someone and you don't have to worry about anything else, about your business, about your job. You're just talking to your heart out with your family and your friends, and you're sharing your feelings, and that is something that gives you momentum, that gives you some energy, that is very important for your physical health. So we have covered 25% of human dimension. Now the second thing that I'm going to talk about is emotional quotient, which is EQ, at the another 25% part. Now, if you get angry on very small little things, that means you're emotionally weaker. You may have emotional problem. Now, we often see people that they get angry with their loved ones, with customers, with their clients. But what is that something that causes that anger? So whenever we are challenged, whenever we get put ourselves into crisis situation, our emotional brain comes into picture, and our rational brain is left behind. Now, in order to understand this, now whenever you are in crisis situation, how to fix this, I'm going to give you a hack. Whenever you are in such situation, try to give some time to yourself. Try to understand the context of the other person and match it with yours, and try to come up with win-win situation. If you do so, you will become emotionally stable person. But you got to practice this, and how you will practice is whenever you are challenged, give some time to yourself. When you give some time to yourself, something scientifically happens. Your emotional brain comes into picture, and your rational brain comes into picture, and your emotional brain is left behind. And then you take rational decision because you rationalize things. That's how you become more emotionally stable. And the third thing is your IQ. The number one thing to improve your IQ is believing in daily progress. If your yesterday is not better than today, then you're not doing justice to yourself. You need to be a lifelong student. You need to learn something or other on a daily basis to improve your IQ. Now, by now we have covered 75% of human dimension. And the last thing is spiritual quotient, which is SQ of our part. Now, ladies and gentlemen, try to understanding. Let's take a scenario. There are two doctors who are working, who are earning money. The first doctor says that I'm trying to earn money because I want to fulfill my life goals. I want to have a good bike, I want to have a car, I want to have a good house, and I want to fulfill my goals. There's another doctor, he says, I am earning money not because I only want to fulfill my goal, but I also want to eradicate, I also want to help remove the malnutrition from my country. So understand that two people doing the same amount of work, earning the same amount of money, but they have a different purpose in life. If you have something bigger that you want to do work on, if you have some bigger purpose in your life, that will connect to your spirituality. You will connect to the higher power. So now we have talked about SQ as well. So we discussed about the 4 issues that we may have, where we have some weaknesses, and we also talked about how we can fix it. I hope you would have liked this video. If that is the case, please leave your questions, or if you have any feedback in the comment section, I would be glad to hear, and I would be glad to answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching. This is Tausif Hassan signing off until we meet again.